what can you speak to? What can you, if our listeners know nothing about college, right? And but you and I know both that sense of belonging is such an important piece of the puzzle to making sure that students are successful. What would you tell listeners out there? Somebody who is the uneducated out there.
Yeah, so I'll start. I think higher education does a really great job of welcoming our students. We have a week-long event throughout, before the semester starts, the fall semester. Every institution, they have like this welcome week event, right? And they have these activities, and they welcome our students to the institution and the campus and culture and everything. But then what are we doing to build that sense of belonging piece? Because I think welcoming students and sense of belonging is two different things. So think about it this way. If Jose, if you invite me to your house, you're welcoming me to your house. Awesome, right? But do I feel like I belong there? Probably not. I don't know, right? Depending on like how how you're treating me, like how you're validating me and so forth. So I think there's two things that we need to do, right? We do a great job already of creating that welcoming piece for our students. But then the sense of belonging piece is something that we continuously must do throughout the semester, right? And that includes inside the classroom, that includes outside the classroom. So I like to use this, this example of the party, the dinner party, right? You invite me to your house. Do I feel
Yeah.
like I belong there? Depending, right? Depending on like, there's things that I see that remind me of maybe my culture or my background or the kind of music that you play or the food that you serve or whatever, etc. So I think, when it comes to sense of belonging, all of us have a role in that, faculty, staff, even the custodial folks here too, right? We have great
Yeah.
custodial staff here at Texas State that they really get to know the students by their names. And there's things that we could do, right? Knowing students by their names, meeting with them after classes, really giving them time to like share. But also, I think when it comes to sense of belonging, we need to humanize ourselves too, right? Because I think students, they get intimidated by like titles and credentials and everything, and then
Yeah.
they see us as like this high up person, and really we're not, right? So I teach first year seminar classes for first year students, and last week we discussed, because last week was their first week of exams, and we discussed, hey, like, when I got my first exam in college, I got a 43. Doesn't mean that I'm not qualified or capable of doing the college work. So really, how do I like normalize their feelings so
Yeah.
that we understand that what they're going through is not a unique thing. It's more like a phenomenon. But again, going back to sense of belonging, I think it's being mindful of how we present ourselves. How do we create spaces where students feel safe and comfortable? So looking at your office space, Jose, you got the privilege to see my wonderful Marvel and DC work here, right? That's a
Yeah.
great talking points for our students. So I think we are mindful of like spaces that we create, how we present ourselves, how we address our students, showing care and concern. I think those are things that can help cultivate that sense of belonging. Because I think a lot of times students are gonna, they're gonna struggle and then they're gonna isolate their experiences. But if they have a champion in their corner, right? If they have a Carrie Zimmerman that I talked about earlier, or a Dr. Giovanni that I talked about earlier, or a Jose or a Rafael, whoever that person is, I think that's what helps students feel like they belong here, and that's what, of course, lead to retention and graduation, which is also going to lead to their goals and achieving the things that they want to achieve as well. So overall, we all play a big role in sense of belonging. So think about it, like I mentioned, like if I get invited to your house, I feel welcome. So I feel like I belong there. That's really up to the host to make sure that I do feel like I belong there. And all of us have to play in that too. So